MD Prepper here doing a update video on this Smith & Wesson SW40VE Sigma line 40 caliber Smith & Wesson. This is a friend of mine's pistol, did a review on a week or two ago. Had a horrible trigger. Otherwise an excellent pistol, I think, for a very low cost, but the trigger was awful. I asked my friend about doing the trigger job on it, but we'd seen online. He let me do that, assuming I'd test it out and see how it functioned afterwards, which I did. I'm not going to do that replacement job of the springs and all that just because I'm going to share the link. There's better videos online that I can do just as well. It has greatly lightened the trigger overall. Some of the online videos state that it reduces it by 50%. I don't think it was that much. I'd say maybe 40%, 35%, something like that. Definite improvement, however. Still a very heavy trigger overall, but much more manageable. I was much better on target with this gun. I had a mixed target with lots of rounds on it, so I can't really show you this target, but it was a lot better. Every target hit reasonably in center of mass. I did have a few flyers, but not nearly as bad as before. I've seen online a lot of people complain that when you remove the two springs and reassemble, you have trouble with the trigger reset. I did not have that problem at all. I fired about 150 rounds of Winchester White Box 40 caliber full metal jacket rounds with this. Flawless. Every last one of them was flawless. No problems whatsoever. I did have one failure to lock the slide back on the last round fired, but I doubt that was a springs issue, and that was the last round, so it was not a failure of the gun overall. Got all rounds off. So hopefully I can show you this trigger. Not nearly as hard to pull. Previously you'd wear yourself out after about 50 rounds. That's fairly reasonable. Still not great, but better. Like I said, I will post the video repair job on this below in the comment section, but much better pistol for $300. I've heard the newer version of this got the trigger down to a lot more reasonable range, but if you got one of these old styles or having to pick one up for cheap, I'd say they're a decent, get home bag gun or a stash gun, something like that, as a cheap backup to have around, a secondary firearm. I would not prefer it as a primary, but not a bad gun. It's not a Glock, but for the price tag, I can't complain. Now it's got a better trigger on it. MD Prepper out.